The steady beep of medical monitors cuts through my consciousness like a knife. Each sound marks another moment I'm alive while my parents aren't. The rhythmic pulse feels like mockery, a constant reminder that I survived what they didn't. My name is Alana, and 3 days ago, my entire world shattered on Highway 43. You need to sign these papers. Ryan's voice floats somewhere above my head. He's been hovering since they let him in, playing the role of devoted boyfriend with an enthusiasm that feels oddly rehearsed. The doctors say you might need specialized care. I turn my head away from him, focusing on the wall. The paint is institutional green, chipped in places that form patterns if you stare long enough. Not now. Alana, please, we need to. I said not now. My voice cracks, raw from the tube they'd shoved down my throat during surgery. The same surgery that was supposed to fix my leg, but left me with more questions than answers. The argument before the crash plays on repeat in my mind. Mom was upset about the dishes I'd left in the sink. Dad was trying to mediate as usual. Such a stupid, mundane thing to be their last conversation. Your parents would want you to take care of yourself, Ryan says, his hand finding mine. His palm is sweaty, grip too tight. Let me handle the paperwork, the insurance, everything. I pull my hand away. You didn't even like them. That's not fair. Isn't it? The words taste bitter. You complained about every Sunday dinner, called them controlling, said they needed to let me grow up. Ryan shifts, his chair scraping against the linoleum. People say things they don't mean. I loved your parents. Past tense. Already. The door opens and Clara, Ryan's mother, sweeps in like she owns the place. She's wearing her church clothes, pearls gleaming at her throat. Oh, sweetheart, she coos. We're all just devastated. Simply devastated. Her perfume is overwhelming, something expensive and cloying. She bustles around the room, adjusting blinds and fluffing pillows I don't want fluffed. The house, I say suddenly, remembering. I need someone to check on the house. Tom's already taken care of it, Clara assures me. He's changed the locks for safety, and we've started boxing up some things. No sense letting everything sit there collecting dust. My chest tightens. You what? Now, she soothes, patting my hand. Don't worry your pretty head. We'll take care of everything. Ryan clears his throat. Mom, maybe we should. The doctor says you'll need extensive physical therapy, Clara continues, ignoring him. You'll stay with us, of course. We've already started clearing out the guest room. The monitor's beeping speeds up. I'm not selling the house. Don't be silly, Clara says, her smile never wavering. You can't possibly live there alone. Not in your condition. My condition is temporary, I hope. The doctors aren't certain. Nothing is certain anymore. Of course it is, Ryan jumps in. But there's something in his tone that makes me look at him sharply. He's watching his mother, not me. We just want what's best for you. Best for me, the phrase echoes in my head, alongside the screech of tires and shattering glass. Alongside my mother's last words. Alana, watch out. I'd like to rest now, I say, closing my eyes. I can't look at either of them anymore. Of course, sweetheart. Clara's heels click across the floor. Ryan, come along, let's let her sleep. I wait until the door closes behind them before opening my eyes again. Through the window, I can see the hospital parking lot, where Clara is talking animatedly to Ryan, her hands gesturing in sharp movements. He nods, running a hand through his hair, a nervous tell I've known for years. Something cold settles in my stomach, something that feels like doubt, like suspicion, like the first whisper of betrayal. The monitor keeps beeping, marking time in a world that suddenly feels much darker, much more dangerous than before. And I realize with a clarity that burns that I'm completely alone, except I'm not. Not really, because the doubt that's taking root, it's going to be my constant companion from now on, my guide, my weapon. They think I'm broken, they think I'm weak, they're wrong. The wheels of my father's antique desk scrape against hardwood as Ryan shoves it toward the door. Each inch it moves feels like a personal betrayal. I grip my crutches tighter, knuckles white. That's not going anywhere. Ryan barely pauses. Clara found a great consignment shop. They'll give us top dollar. Us? The word tastes like acid. That desk belonged to my father, and his father before him. And now it's taking up space we need for your therapy equipment. He wipes sweat from his forehead, leaving a smudge of dust. Be practical, Alana. Practical. Everyone keeps using that word. Be practical about the house. Be practical about the furniture. Be practical about your recovery. As if practicality could fill the void where my parents used to be. The front door opens, and Clara sweeps in with Tom trailing behind her. She's carrying paint swatches. Oh, good! You're starting on the office. I was thinking a lovely sage green would brighten. Stop! My voice comes out sharper than intended. Just stop! Clara exchanges a look with Ryan that makes my skin crawl. Sweetheart, we're only trying to help. This house needs updating if we're going to what? Another loaded glance between mother and son. Tom suddenly becomes very interested in his phone. Well, Clara says carefully, if we're going to get a good price when we list it. The room tilts slightly. List it? Ryan didn't tell you? Clara's surprise seems rehearsed. We've been talking to some realtors. This old house is far too much maintenance in your condition. Our guest room is all ready and... Get out! The words come from somewhere deep and primal. Alana, Ryan starts. Get out! Clara draws herself up, offended. Now really, there's no need for... Maya's coming to help with my physical therapy. I lie. I need to rest before she arrives. It works. They can't argue with medical necessity. It would ruin their caring facade. Ryan helps his parents gather their things, shooting me concerned looks that don't quite mask his frustration. As they leave, I catch a snippet of their conversation on the porch. Taking longer than we thought. Clara's voice tight with annoyance. Just needs time. Ryan's response placating. Can't afford to wait much longer. Tom's deeper tone, urgent. I hobble to my father's desk, running my fingers along the familiar scratches and nicks in the wood. The middle drawer still sticks slightly. You have to jiggle it just right. Inside, everything is exactly as he left it. Paper clips, old receipts, a half-empty pack of mints. And underneath it all, a sealed envelope I've never seen before. My hands shake as I open it. Inside is a letter in my father's precise handwriting, dated just 3 weeks before the crash. My dearest Alana, if you're reading this, something has happened to your mother and me. I pray you never need to find this letter, but I've learned that hope is no substitute for preparation. The words blur as tears fill my eyes, but it's the next paragraph that makes my blood run cold. I've noticed some concerning patterns in Ryan's behavior lately. Questions about our investments, interest in property values. Your mother thinks I'm being paranoid, but I've started keeping detailed records. You'll find them in the safe behind your mother's favorite painting. The combination is your birthday. Trust your instincts, sweetheart. They've always been sharper than mine. All my love, Dad. A knock at the door makes me jump. I quickly tuck the letter into my pocket as Maya enters, carrying her therapy kit. Hey, I saw the vultures leaving, she says, then notices my face. What's wrong? I hesitate, weighing my options. Maya's been my best friend since college, but involving her means making this real. Acknowledging that the people I trusted most might be orchestrating my worst nightmare. I need your help, I say finally. But this stays between us. She sets down her kit and meets my eyes. Always. My father left something in the safe. I need to get to it before they do. Maya's expression hardens. She's never liked Ryan, though she's been too kind to say it outright. Tell me everything. As I begin to explain, I feel something shift inside me. The helplessness of the past weeks transforms into something else, something with teeth. They think they're playing a game of patience, waiting for me to break. But my father's letter has changed the rules. Now I'm playing too. Maya helps me into the living room just as Ryan bursts through the front door, radiating nervous energy. He's dressed too formally for a regular workday, cologne heavy in the air. We need to talk. He paces, hands fidgeting. About us. About the future. Maya catches my eye. We'd just finished retrieving Dad's records from the safe. Documents now safely hidden in her therapy bag. I should go, she says. No. The word comes out sharper than intended. Stay. Please. Ryan's jaw tightens. This is private. Maya's family. The lie tastes like victory. Whatever you need to say, you can say it in front of her. He drops to one knee so suddenly I flinch. There's something mechanical about the movement, rehearsed. The ring he produces is ostentatious, nothing like what I'd want. But of course, he'd never asked what I'd want. Marry me, he says, but it sounds more like a demand than a question. We can start fresh, together. Maya's hand finds my shoulder, steadying. Through the window behind Ryan, I spot Clara and Tom in their car, watching, waiting. Why now? My voice is steady despite the rage building in my chest. Because I love you. He reaches for my hand. Because you need me. Need you? The documents in Maya's bag seem to burn with accusation. Like I needed you when you let your mother pack up my parents' belongings without asking? That was for your own good. You were too emotional to... To what? To make decisions about my own home? My own life? He rocks back on his heels, frustration cracking his perfect proposal facade. You're being difficult. Mom said you might be... Your mother seems to say a lot of things. I lean forward. Tell me, Ryan, whose idea was it really to sell the house? A flash of panic crosses his face, quickly masked. Nobody's selling anything. We just want what's best for you. What's best for me? I laugh, and it sounds foreign even to my own ears. Or what's best for your family's debt? The color drains from his face. I don't know what you're talking about. The mortgage payments you've been missing, the credit card debt, the gambling losses your father's been hiding. Each word is a bullet, and I watch them hit their mark. Did you think my father didn't notice you asking about his investments? Ryan stands abruptly, mask completely shattered. You're confused. The medication... I found the records, Ryan. My hands are shaking, but my voice isn't. All of them. Every question you asked, every document you requested. Dad kept notes. He takes a step toward me, but Maya moves between us. Don't, she warns. Through the window, I see Clara getting out of the car, her face tight with concern. Or maybe fear. Whatever you think you know, Ryan says, you're wrong. I've only ever tried to protect you. Protect me? The word tastes like ash. By selling off my memories piece by piece? By planning to force me out of my own home? You're being hysterical. He reaches for the ring box I never took. We can talk about this later, when you're thinking clearly. I'm thinking perfectly clearly. I straighten in my chair, ignoring the pain in my leg. The answer is no. No? I won't marry you. I won't sell the house. And starting tomorrow, I want your mother's spare key back. His face contorts. You can't manage alone. She's not alone, Maya says quietly. The front door opens and Clara hurries in, Tom following like a shadow. Is everything all right? We heard raised voices. Everything's fine, Mom, Ryan says quickly. Alana's just tired. I'm not tired. I meet Clara's eyes. I'm awake, finally. Understanding dawns on her face, followed by something darker. Ryan, get your things. We're leaving. But now! Her voice could freeze hell. As they file out, Clara turns back. Whatever you think you know, dear, remember, grief can make people imagine all sorts of things. Is that a threat, Clara? She smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Just friendly advice, from family. The door closes behind them with a soft click that sounds like a declaration of war. Maya lets out a long breath. Well, that could have gone better. No, I say, watching Ryan's family huddle in their car through the window. It went exactly as it needed to. Because now I know, now I have proof, and more importantly, they know I know. The game has changed, and I'm no longer the helpless pawn they thought I was. I'm the player they never saw coming. The locksmith finishes changing the last deadbolt as Ryan's car pulls into the driveway. Perfect timing. I watch from the living room window as he exits his vehicle, shoulders tense, Clara's spare key visible in his hand. I've got this, I tell Maya, who's hovering nearby. You should head out the back. She hesitates. Are you sure? I need to do this part alone. The doorbell rings. A courtesy he's never shown before. I take my time answering, letting him stew in the morning heat. When I finally open the door, he's already sweating. The key doesn't work, he says, trying to peer past me into the house. No, it doesn't. His jaw tightens. Alana, we need to talk about yesterday. You're not thinking clearly. Actually, I've been doing some thinking. I gesture to the stack of papers on the entry table. About the withdrawal from my parents' account last week. $15,000. He freezes. What withdrawal? The one you made using the power of attorney forms. The ones I never signed. Color drains from his face. That's not... I was handling the medical bills. I called the hospital this morning. They haven't received any payment since the insurance coverage. A car door slams outside. Clara emerges from her SUV like an avenging angel, Tom trailing behind her. I feel a flutter of fear but push it down. This is my house, my ground. What's going on? Clara demands, reaching the door. Show them, I tell Ryan. He doesn't move. I pick up the papers myself, noting how his hands twitch. Forged documents, unauthorized withdrawals. Dad's watch mysteriously appearing in a pawn shop across town. Those are serious accusations. Tom speaks up, his lawyer voice in full effect. They're not accusations. They're facts. I meet Clara's eyes. Just like the fact that you've been listing my parents' furniture on consignment sites before I even came home from the hospital. Clara's perfect makeup cracks with a sneer. You ungrateful little... Mom, Ryan warns, but it's too late. After everything we've done for you, she continues, this is how you repay us? By throwing around wild theories and changing locks? I laugh, and the sound surprises even me. Wild theories? Like the theory that you're drowning in gambling debts? That Tom's law firm is investigating him for embezzlement? Tom takes a step forward. Now, see here. No, you see. I pull out my phone, showing them the screen. I'm on a conference call. Want to know who's listening? Their faces shift from anger to uncertainty. Maya's recording everything from her car. Evelyn, you remember my parents' neighbor? She's on too, along with Detective Sanders, who's very interested in those forged documents. You're bluffing, Ryan says, but his voice shakes. I press speaker. Everyone still there? We're here, Maya's voice confirms. Getting everything. Clara lunges for the phone, but I'm faster, stepping back inside the doorway. That's assault on video, Clara. Want to add that to the list? You little bitch, she hisses. You have no idea what you're doing. I know exactly what I'm doing. I hold up another document. Just like I know about the real estate agent you contacted. The one you told my house would be available once the invalid is convinced to sell. Ryan reaches for me. Alana, please, don't! My voice could cut glass. Don't pretend this was love. Don't pretend you weren't counting my parents' assets before their bodies were cold. We can work this out, Tom tries, lawyer mask firmly back in place. As a family. Family? The word tastes like poison. Family doesn't steal from each other. Family doesn't forge signatures or sell memories for cash. What do you want? Clara demands. I want you gone. All of you. And if anything else disappears from this house, if you come near me again, these recordings go straight to the police. You'd really do that? Ryan asks quietly. After 5 years together? I meet his eyes, searching for any trace of the man I thought I loved. There's nothing there but calculation and fear. 5 years of lies, I say. Consider this me cutting my losses. They leave in a flurry of threats and slammed car doors. I watch from the window until their vehicles disappear, then sink into my father's old armchair, hands shaking. Maya's voice comes through the phone. Holy shit, that was intense. You okay? No, I admit. But I will be. Because now I know the truth. Sometimes the people who claim to protect you are the ones you need protection from. And sometimes the best revenge isn't about getting even. It's about getting free. The attic door creaks open, releasing decades of dust into the beam of my flashlight. Maya steadies me as I climb the last step, my bad leg protesting. We're searching for Mom's jewelry box, the last thing of real value left in the house. Or so I thought. Alana, Maya calls from behind a stack of boxes. You need to see this. She's found a filing cabinet I've never seen before, its drawers recently disturbed. Inside, fresh paperwork sits atop yellowed folders. I recognize Ryan's hurried handwriting on sticky notes marking certain pages. Son of a bitch, I breathe, pulling out a folder. These are Dad's investment documents, the originals. Maya peers over my shoulder. Why would Ryan hide them up here? Before I can answer, a floorboard creaks downstairs. We freeze, listening to footsteps moving through the house below. I thought you changed the locks, Maya whispers. I did. The steps grow closer, accompanied by voices. Clara's distinctive tone carries through the ceiling. It has to be up here somewhere. Tom said the old fool kept everything important in the attic. My hands shake as I stuff documents into my bag. Maya quickly dims the flashlight, plunging us into darkness broken only by the thin beam of light seeping through the attic door. What about her? Tom's voice now. If she comes home? She's at physical therapy until 5, Ryan answers. We have time. My therapy session. The one I canceled this morning. The one they think I'm at. Clara's heels click on the stairs. Found it yet? There's too much junk up here, Ryan complains. Dad's will mentioned a safety deposit box key. It has to be in that jewelry box. The blood rushes from my face. Dad's other safety deposit box. The one even Mom didn't know about. The one he mentioned in his letter. Maya grabs my arm as the attic door swings wide, flooding the space with light. We press ourselves against the far wall, hidden behind decades of holiday decorations and old furniture. Here, Clara announces triumphantly. Behind these boxes. Through a gap in the clutter, I watch her lift Mom's jewelry box. The same box I've been searching for all week. Ryan moves to help her open it. Careful, Tom warns. We need the key intact. I know how to handle a simple box, Clara snaps. Unlike your handling of the firm's accounts? This isn't the time. When is the time? Clara's voice rises. The partners are asking questions. If we don't replace that money? Keep your voice down, Ryan hisses. Why? Afraid the neighbors will hear? Or afraid Alana will finally realize her precious boyfriend and his family are nothing but... Found it! Tom interrupts, holding up a small key. Now we can access the real estate holdings before she... A sneeze builds in my chest. I press my hand against my mouth, but it's too late. The sound echoes through the attic. Silence falls. What was that? Clara demands. Footsteps approach our hiding spot. Maya's hand finds mine in the darkness, squeezing tight. Probably just mice, Ryan says, but he's moving closer. I grip the strap of my bag, feeling the weight of the documents inside. Evidence of their schemes, their desperation, their betrayal. Ryan reaches for the box hiding us. One more inch and he'll see... A phone rings downstairs, startlingly loud in the tension. That's the realtor, Clara says. Don't keep her waiting. We need to move fast on the property sale. But now, Ryan. He hesitates, hand still outstretched, then withdraws. We listen to them descend, their voices fading. Only when the front door slams do I let myself breathe. Jesus, Maya whispers. What was in that safety deposit box that they're so desperate to find? I pull out Dad's letter, rereading the final lines I'd initially missed in my shock. The key in my jewelry box leads to proof of what they've done. Use it wisely, sweetheart. Sometimes the best revenge isn't in exposing secrets. It's in knowing when to use them. Maya studies my face in the dim light. What are you thinking? I touch Mom's empty jewelry box, abandoned in their haste. I'm thinking it's time to stop playing defense. Because now I understand, this isn't just about protecting what's mine anymore. It's about justice. For Dad, who saw through them. For Mom, whose memories they're trying to erase. And for me, who finally sees the truth. Sometimes the people closest to you are the ones plotting your destruction. The bank manager slides the safety deposit box across his desk, his expression carefully neutral. Take your time, Miss Chen. My hands tremble as I insert Dad's key. Inside lies a USB drive and a thick manila envelope. The manager excuses himself, leaving me alone with whatever truth my father thought worth hiding. My laptop screen flickers to life, revealing folders of financial records, emails, surveillance photos. My throat tightens as I recognize Tom's law firm letterhead, transaction records, offshore account numbers. A shadow falls across my screen. I wondered when you'd find it. Ryan stands in the doorway, Clara and Tom flanking him like dark sentinels. The manager lies unconscious behind them. What did you do to him? My voice sounds distant, strange. Just sleeping, Clara says, closing the door. Like you should have been during your supposed therapy session? I reach for my phone, but Tom's already holding it. Looking for Maya? She's rather occupied at the moment, dealing with some unexpected licensing board complaints. The threat in his voice makes my blood run cold. You can't touch her, I say, but uncertainty creeps in. We already have. Ryan moves closer, his familiar cologne now suffocating. Just like we can touch Evelyn's mortgage, her grandson's college acceptance, her daughter's job. All those people helping you spy on us. Clara's heels click against marble as she circles the desk. Did you think we wouldn't notice? I clutch the USB drive tighter. I have copies. Evidence of everything you've done. No, Tom says quietly. You have what we wanted you to find. Breadcrumbs, leading exactly where we needed you to go. Ryan reaches for the drive. I jerk away, but my bad leg betrays me. I stumble, catching myself on the desk's edge. Still playing the victim. Clara's voice drips contempt. Poor, helpless Alana, so easy to manipulate, so desperate for family she never saw the truth. What truth? That the accident wasn't an accident. The world stops. Ryan's face softens with practiced concern. Mom? She doesn't need to. Oh, I think she does. Clara's smile is razor sharp. Your father was investigating us. Getting too close. The brake lines were just convenient. My parents' faces flash before me, their last moments, the argument about dishes suddenly meaningless. You killed them. We protected our interests. Tom's lawyer voice, clinical and cold. Like we're protecting them now. The USB drive digs into my palm. Everything I thought I knew about their betrayal pales against this new horror. What do you want? Sign the house over, Ryan says. Walk away. Or Maya's career ends today. Evelyn loses everything. And that evidence you gathered? It might suggest you were involved in your parents' deaths. Grief can make people do terrible things. You won't get away with this. We already have. Clara opens her designer bag, produces papers. Sign. My father's voice echoes in my head. Trust your instincts. But my instincts failed me for 5 years. Failed to see the monsters wearing familiar faces. I take the pen with numb fingers. I loved you, I tell Ryan. Not a confession. An accusation. I know. His smile doesn't reach his eyes. That made it easier. The pen hovers over paper. In this moment, I understand something fundamental about revenge. Sometimes it means losing everything to win something bigger. I sign. Clara snatches the papers, triumphant. Ryan takes the USB drive from my unresisting fingers. Wise choice, Tom says. The account numbers are in there. Transfer everything by midnight. They leave me there, surrounded by the ruins of my life. The manager will wake soon. Remember nothing. Maya will be safe. Evelyn will keep her home. And I pull my father's letter from my pocket, read the last lines again. The real evidence isn't in the box, sweetheart. It's in what they'll do to get it. My phone, my real phone, hidden in my leg brace, records every word, every confession. The police captain's number is already dialed, has been since they walked in. Because sometimes revenge isn't about winning. Sometimes it's about making them think they have. I press send and wait for Justice to answer. Detective Sanders adjusts her bulletproof vest as we wait in my darkened living room. They're coming. Remember, let them incriminate themselves. Through the window, I watch Ryan's car pull up, followed by Clara's SUV. My phone buzzes. Maya confirming she and Evelyn are in position at the back of the house. Ready? Sanders asks. I touch my father's watch, now back on my wrist where it belongs. Ready. They enter without knocking, as if they still own the place. The confidence of predators who think their prey is cornered. Alana, Ryan calls out. We need those account numbers. I step into view, letting them see me standing tall despite my leg. In my father's study. Clara's eyes narrow at my calm demeanor, but they follow me down the hall. The study door clicks shut behind them. Where are the transfers? Tom demands. I settle behind my father's desk. Actually, I have something else to show you. I open my laptop, turn it toward them. Security footage from the mechanic's shop. The night before my parents' accident. The color drains from Clara's face as she watches Ryan on screen, tampering with brake lines. That's not... Ryan starts. And these, I continue, pulling out papers, are Tom's offshore accounts. The ones he's been hiding from his law partners. The ones showing exactly where my parents' money went. Tom lunges for the papers, but I slide them away. Copies are already with the SEC. You're bluffing! Clara snarls, but uncertainty creeps into her voice. Like you were bluffing about Maya's licensing board? About Evelyn's mortgage? I press play on another video. Clara threatening the bank manager, recorded by his own security system. Ryan steps forward, switching tactics. Alana, please, we can work this out. I did love you in my way. Your way? I laugh, and it sounds like breaking glass. Your way was murder. We did what we had to, Clara snaps. Your father was going to ruin everything. Mom, shut up, Ryan hisses, but she's too far gone. He deserved what he got, poking around in our business. And you, she jabs a finger at me, you're just like him, too stubborn to know when to quit. Actually, I say quietly, I'm exactly like him. The study door bursts open. Detective Sanders enters, followed by uniformed officers. Maya and Evelyn appear in the doorway, phones recording everything. Clara Thompson, Ryan Thompson, Thomas Thompson, Sanders announces. You're under arrest for the murders of James and Helen Chen. Attempted murder, fraud. The list continues as they're cuffed. Clara screams accusations. Tom demands his lawyer. But Ryan just stares at me, finally seeing me clearly. You played us, he says, almost admiringly. I learned from the best. I hold up my phone, still recording. You taught me how to lie, how to manipulate, how to wait for the perfect moment. The USB drive, Clara realizes. The safety deposit box. It was all a trap, I finish. Just like the one you set for my parents. As they're led away, Ryan pauses in the doorway. Your father would be proud. No. I meet his eyes one last time. He'd be alive. The house falls quiet. Maya hugs me while Evelyn squeezes my hand. Detective Sanders collects the final evidence, promising updates on the prosecution. Later, alone in the study, I open my father's last letter again. The words blur through tears. Remember, sweetheart, revenge isn't about making them suffer. It's about making them face what they've done. I place the letter in his desk drawer, finally understanding. This wasn't just about revenge, it was about justice, about honoring my father's legacy by finishing what he started. My phone lights up with a news alert. Prominent attorney and family arrested in double homicide investigation. The truth is out. The predators have become prey, and I'm my father's daughter after all. Just not in the way they expected. The courthouse steps feel endless with my cane, but I climb them alone. Inside, the gallery fills with familiar faces. Maya, Evelyn, Detective Sanders, even my father's old law partners. All here to witness justice. Ryan sits at the defendant's table, shoulders rigid in his prison jumpsuit. Clara and Tom flank him, their designer clothes replaced by matching orange. None of them look at me. All rise. The judge enters, and I think of my father's words about courtrooms. Justice isn't about winning, sweetheart. It's about truth seeing light. The verdict comes quickly. Guilty on all counts. First-degree murder, fraud, conspiracy. The judge's gavel echoes like thunder, sealing their fate. Clara breaks first, her perfect mask cracking. We were desperate! The firm was failing! We were going to lose everything! Silence, the judge orders, but Clara continues. Your father would have understood. He knew about protecting family. Mrs. Thompson, the judge warns. Tell them, Alana. Tell them how your father would have helped if we just asked. The courtroom falls silent, waiting for my response. But I don't give her the satisfaction. Instead, I stand slowly, gathering my things. Miss Chen, the judge says, would you like to make a victim impact statement? I look at Ryan, really look at him. At the man I thought I loved, who planned my parents' death over Sunday dinners and holiday celebrations. At Clara, who helped me pick out my mother's funeral dress while plotting to steal her legacy. At Tom, who gave the eulogy at my father's funeral, knowing he'd helped orchestrate his murder. No, Your Honor, I say quietly. They've taken enough of my words. I leave them there, surrounded by their consequences. Outside, reporters shout questions about justice and closure, about whether the sentence brings peace. Maya appears at my elbow. Ready to go home? Home. The word means something different now. Not just the house where my parents lived and died, but the truth they tried to protect. The legacy they left in files and letters and careful observations. Actually, I say, there's somewhere else I need to be. The cemetery is quiet this time of day. I make my way to their headstone where fresh flowers already rest. Evelyn's doing probably. She still looks after them, even now. I place my father's watch beside the flowers. The same watch Ryan pawned, thinking it worthless. Not knowing its real value was in the hidden compartment containing a microchip, Dad's final insurance policy against the people he'd grown to suspect. I did it, I tell them softly. I finished what you started. A breeze stirs the flowers, and for a moment, I feel them here. Not in the dramatic way movies portray, but in the quiet certainty that they'd be proud. Not of the revenge, maybe, but of the justice, of the truth finally exposed. My phone buzzes. Detective Sanders sending the final evidence list. Among the items, Clara's diary, discovered in the raid. Its last entry reveals a woman drowning in debt, desperate enough to destroy another family to save her own. I close the message without responding. Let that be Clara's epitaph. The choices she made, the lives she ruined, the desperation that turned her into a monster. The sun sets behind the trees as I stand to leave. My leg aches less these days, healing slowly but surely, like the rest of me. At the cemetery gate, I pause. Maya waits in her car, ready to drive me home. Evelyn will be there with dinner, refusing to let me be alone tonight. They're my family now, chosen, tested, true. But first, I take one last look at the headstone, at the watch catching the dying light, at the final page of this chapter. Some people say revenge is a dish best served cold. But they're wrong. Real revenge isn't cold at all. It burns. With truth, with justice, with the weight of choices made and prices paid. I leave the watch where it lies. Let it guard their rest, a silent sentinel marking not just what was lost, but what was found. Not just what was destroyed, but what was built from the ashes. Because in the end, the greatest revenge wasn't in watching them fall. It was in learning to rise.